Ladies and gentlemen, with us in the studio today is Dr. Reem Al Turki. She is a Saudi strategist and sustainability entrepreneur, bridging science, policy, and investment to advance Vision 2030. She's a PhD graduate in immunology. She applies a rigorous, evidence-based mindset to national-scale strategy, having served as advisor for investment development and director of education sector at the Ministry of Investment. She's also founded Green Hub Space, a pioneer in holistic circular economy solutions and well-being programs, and leads Soft Landing Saudi to help global investors enter the kingdom in alignment with long-term human capital and ESG goals, a visible voice of women's leadership. She champions pragmatic, data-driven policy and cross-sector collaboration across education, sustainability, logistics, and innovation. Welcome to the program, Dr. Reem. It's a pleasure to have you.
It's a pleasure to be with you, Joshua, and I love the opportunity. I am so grateful that Al Ula has its own broadcast radio because it's the hidden gem of Saudi Arabia. So
we're not so hidden anymore, Doctor.
No, okay then. Here you go.
We are a gem, as you said, but not so hidden. The whole world knows Al Ula now.
That's very true.
So, Doctora, tell us, please, we're talking about your education in the beginnings. You said the government scholarship that allowed you to study abroad shaped who you are today. How did you experience and refine yourself? And how did you believe in yourself as a Saudi woman as you were being educated?
Yes. I always said, whenever I have team in every sector for the government, I used to tell them I'm paying back. I'm paying back what the country invested in me. So the story of my scholarship كان وقتها it's conditioned to have a chaperone, and it was very limited. As you said, it's not really Saudi Arabia, but the opportunities because of funding or certain, I can't remember what was the reason. So I'm extremely in favor of Dr. Ghazi Al-Qsaybi, our ambassador at the time, Dr. Abdullah Nasser, who was our mulhaq, and Dr. Khalid Al-Angari, who was the wazir, who really believed in me and put me through the scholarship and insisted on me getting the scholarship and to join it. And that changed my life, basically. It shaped my career and my future and my potential.
Well, Dr. Khalid actually changed both of our lives because he gave me my first job ever in my life.
Oh, wow, okay.
Before he became ambassador to France, I was working with him in the Ministry of Higher Education. And so Dr. Khalid has positively impacted both of our lives.
Absolutely.
And different generations as well.
Yes.
So
he has also, just like the two, Dr. Ghazi and Dr. Abdullah. I remember when Dr. Khalid came to visit the students in the UK, في الملحقية, he said the girls come to meet me before the boys, which was a hidden message for women empowerment at the time. Pioneer.
But you chose to become a doctor, like a medical doctor.
I'm not a medical doctor. I'm a graduate of a medical school.
Okay, so you became like a scientist. So you study disease and you study how we protect ourselves from those diseases. And you kind of like built a career in government outside of medicine, but you armed your experience and strategies with your medical knowledge and your medical scientific approach.
Okay, if we could go back a little bit and just say, I studied immunology of infectious diseases and at the London School for a purpose because I was always value-driven. So I thought by studying immunology is the shortcut to go to Africa and help people and vulnerable and so on. So I studied a lot of, with people from developing world in the school, and my vision is to help them. Going through my career, I had a grant and the support of Prince Turki Faisal and Prince Nawaf after him, who were both the ambassadors to Saudi Arabia to London, who gave me my grant to work with the Bill Gates Foundation for my school. And here I was, the scientist in a very expensive $50 billion the Gate lab in Tanzania, and people are dying because they don't have Panadol. So I mean, that is very evidence-based. You're with somebody with very rational and evidence-based background, data-driven. You're like, that's reality in your face. So that's when I left pure science to grassroots or social development, basically.
And that was your career pivot.
Yes, that's how it really shifted to public policy and gender equality and empowerment and different areas.
So tell me, how did you utilize your medical background?
Yeah.
You went to the lab in Tanzania. People were dying at that time from numerous diseases, from
Malaria. I worked on malaria then.
Okay.
It's a Bill Gates Foundation, Malaria Gate Foundation with the London School. It's a joint program. And I must say that also the scholarship was quarterly funded by my school and by the Islamic Bank at the time.
So you're studying these diseases. You're trying to help find a viable solution. There's many fantastical solutions to solve very large, fantastical problems. But your approach helped you move into another place where you found, I guess, some passion, which is working for the Saudi government.
Yes.
So tell us about that transition. So I'm imagining you in a lab, and then all of a sudden I'm imagining you.
So, I mean, moving across sectors, whether, my first job or second or third, it's actually your training into a scientific approach towards things and structure mentality to be validated with data, and taking the decision and a policy driven from the data. How data can be used in achieving and operating. Now, it doesn't matter what your sector is. If you know how to break the facts, to implement them correctly, and reach the community, then you're successful in your career. In my case, I realized that helping people, which is something my dad told me, why you're going to Africa to help people? You can help your people.
Yes, he's right. Yes.
My dad always said that. So the Saudi government helped me, and the scholarship and the education. It's not, the flagship education is not an award that you take. It's actually to equip you to build human capital and to return back. So it was time to return back and to return the favor, to be part of this amazing, revolution that is happening, what I call revolution, really, which the whole world is watching. So if you want to help people, you might as well help your people.
Your own people first.
First, yeah.
It's like putting on your own oxygen before you
put your child's oxygen in yours.
Yes. So tell me, how did you move into the government sector, the sustainability sector?
I mean, it wasn't, but my skills in business development and being somebody who's so sociable and friendly is what took me to my government job from one to another. So I was in the economic cities first for a couple of years, before the investment, before any of that. And before I was in the Ministry of Education. So actually it is the skills. I said being refined by if you allow me to be a little biased, but the British education really reshape your networking. I mean, the Brits are great at networking, and they really teach you how to network effectively. They adopt you in the alumni field and help you with the tools to build your network, and of course your knowledge. So that business development that came natural to me, I would say. First natural.
You were a promoter.
Yeah, first natural, and then it was shaped professionally. That is the first step to move to the government sector. After that, I think it became obvious to me that I'm interested not in operation more than strategic vision and building bridges. I'm just a natural I hope, building bridges.
And so you're building a bridge into sustainability now, or you have been for a while.
Yes.
And now you're now starting your own sustainability initiative. Tell us about your initiative.
So it started back, obviously, when I was a student in the UK. You look at the recycling and all the lovely initiative in preserving our nature and our motherhood planet. When I was an academic, the first time, first role in Saudi, I carried out a very successful campaign in recycling. That was back in 15 years ago. So we did an awareness campaign to end plastic. And we gathered hundreds of plastic. We produced beautiful art pieces. We linked Islamic studies with how to keep your, Prophet says, and mashallah, and how to keep nature. It's embedded in our Islamic value. And we got an award. I got an award, and my team across the higher education from the ministry. So that was my start of the sustainability. It never went away. It became a lifestyle, on and off, I would say. And it became a passion. But really, what shaped everything is that I started digging more professionally to invest in myself in sustainability. So I joined the degree in IMD to do an executive certificate in sustainability. And every module is practical. You have to really address a sustainability challenge. The more challenges we came across from my colleagues, from myself, I got into this more.
What was a challenge that was particularly interesting to you from the sustainability challenges?
I think the ban of plastic. Yeah.
So plastics is what stuck with you.
Plastic has stuck with me. I would say that the circular economy and fashion recycling is another thing. Just because I tend to, well, maybe all females are, but I tend to be shopaholic when I'm stressed.
Yes.
So it was shocking for me that when I took the circular economy module in IMD, how much water do we use to produce one T-shirt?
To produce already with materials that used a lot of water in their production, even if it is cotton.
Absolutely.
How much
the
water?
Cotton especially, actually, it takes most of the water.
Yes. And so
I decided, my whole experience, something out there in the world keep sending me to the community to realize my role. So going to Africa thinking I'm going to help people with my expensive drug that I will discover in my expensive lab, I learned that the most simple things is what help people, and the movement and the grassroots initiatives are more impactful and more rewarding. So that's why I decided that Green Hub is going to be finally launched. And the aim is awareness in the beginning, awareness, alignment with the vision.
So tell me about as you were kind of exploring sustainability, did you realize that perhaps I'm going to be able to help even more people by either educating or spreading awareness about sustainability-related issues or solutions?
Yes.
And you told me the circular fashion was one of those areas that you're particularly interested in.
Yeah.
What is it exactly about fashion that you think is not sustainable?
I think it's not the fashion industry per se. I think maybe because, in Saudi, we're fascinated by fashion. Maybe I'm surrounded by fashion designers.
And Saudis are very fashionable people, by the way.
Yes, exactly. I just think all what we need is to twist to ethical fashion, to recycler fashion. That's all.
What's our current, the current way we consume fashion? What do you think makes it not ethical?
A lot of it end up in the landfills, and many Saudis tell you, no, we donate, we go charity. Now, charity doesn't mean it's the right way for the circular economy, because unfortunately, if you paid حتى نص ريال for something, you value it.
Yes.
If you bought something secondhand with the story with it, you're attached. But if you got it as a donation, you're very happy to throw it in the landfill.
Yes. Not only that, the materials themselves, the raw materials and recycled goods, they're losing value at a ridiculous rate because they are being quote unquote recycled. So sometimes I feel like recycled just means lower quality, cheaper to a lot of people today. So if you bought something with
We need
recycled,
to change that
well, of
value
course.
proposition.
I think you should say upcycled instead of saying proudly, "Oh, this is
Recy-
recycled."
no.
We should say like we need to find another patch term,
Pre-loved.
pre-loved, or looking for extra love kind of material.
Buy me with my history or something like that. I was thinking, I mean, I'm exploring now the second session for Green Hub and the circularity. So we're looking for taglines like this for
Yes.
sure. But I think what it takes to achieve sustainability or Saudi sustainable is three things. Policy, high policy, which we have
In place. MGI.
Yes, we do.
SGI.
Yes, we have the KPI, we have the
The
policy.
largest ministry of environment in the Middle East.
The Middle East,
Yes.
and a lot of initiative and incubator for the startups and sustainability as well.
Land size 3 times the size of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
3 times, not 1 time, 3 times the size of Texas. So there's a lot of literal material to work with.
So inshallah, we need successful implementation and grassroots care.
Yes.
So that's why Green Hub is there to help hands. I mean, sustainability can only be achieved in collaboration. Public, private sector, extreme working together, extreme partnership, and the NGOs' role in the grassroots.
Do you think women, being that you being a female leader is a big part of your story?
Yeah.
Okay. What role do you think women specifically could play when it comes to sustainability?
Somebody came to the first session and asked me specifically why women and sustainability, because Green Hub is going to focus on women leadership and sustainability specifically. I think it's a couple of answers. The first one is, and I'm not sure it's an African proverb or it's a say by Nelson Mandela, that if you educate a woman, you educate a nation. Women are the center of their families and the center of their communities, historically and socially everywhere. So if you are focusing on the woman, on the nuclear of the family, then you've done it. By nature, women are easier to be or to adopt change. They're more easy to be an agent of change. So therefore, I believe that women can play a bigger role in this, in turning things around. And most of all, as I said to you, that it's the woman who is the household. It's she educates the child. She rules the house. She controls how things are recycled. She can tell her husband, her family, that was one of the beautiful things that happened in the campaign in the University of Dar al Hikmah back 15 years ago. We started by the student, but we didn't realize that we actually got the whole of Jeddah community involved, which was beautiful.
Tell me about community engagement. What role do communities play when it comes to sustainability-related issues? I mean, it's one thing to always just talk at the community, and it's another thing to get the community involved and to adopt a more stewardship-related role, more of a proactive role in advancing some of the circular economy or sustainable initiatives or projects. What role has the community played in your initiatives and your projects?
They're the key players. They're actually the base of any initiative, in my opinion. You can educate, and as you said, from up, you can say that this has to be done. This has to be done. But the person has to be implementing the change in themselves. First, until
they want to change themselves.
Yeah.
Yes.
So basically, it's got to start from you. Nobody else. And it's so actually embedded in our Islamic value to be sustainable. It's just we moved away from this.
There's so much sustainability sustainability themes,
Yeah.
environmentalist themes.
I mean,
in
you're
Islam.
the right person to lecture me about this.
No, I wouldn't. You're the right person. You're from
No.
Qasim, so you're the really right person.
Actually, I'm glad you mentioned Qasim because I think in Qasim they use out of I don't know, out of keen commercial people, they use the tamar in literally they used everything from the nakhla and the tamar and the nuwa.
Yes,
and
yes.
that's his true circular
Yes,
economy.
they use from the palm to the pits. They
Everything,
use everything.
everything.
Yes.
And it's natural to farmers across Saudi. And
Yes.
I think it's not only Qasim.
Yes.
So this is how we lived normally before.
Yes.
And this was the norm and the practice. We just have to go back to nature.
Yes. In fact, like when we were talking a little bit about the environmentalist themes in Islam, one of them is the Prophet when he would do his
إماطة الأذى عن
ablutions.
الطريق.
He would tell people to move the, I don't want to say garbage, but
It's not إماطة الأذى
Yes.
as in the harm, any harm. So in his opinion, it was إماطة الأذى as in it could be pollution, it could be garbage, it could be
a sharp rock, it could be anything.
Yes,
Yeah. So
yes.
he was instructing people to, of course, move it away from the paths of people. And we could, look at a big picture, and you can also look at a micro picture, which is just to simply remove the object. But ablution, even if you're doing it in a river, don't use too much water. Don't make your stomachs graveyards for animals.
Yes.
Don't artificially reduce the amount of something that's naturally supposed to be in the market or in the environment.
أيوة.
Stop the protectionist measures. Stop the controlling. Stop. So there is a lot of environmentalist themes.
And that needs the whole session because my colleague at the time who was in charge of Islamic studies, they carried out so much research to link religion with environment.
Yes.
So it needs a whole session.
Absolutely.
And inshallah, we're addressing it.
Great. I want to know, I think the youth have heard, I think the generation that is, you're probably your son's age today, I think they grew up hearing about sustainability. And they hear it like they kind of hear other mundane things in their life, like a broken record. Sustainability. How are we going to get them to take action when they're...
I wish I can. I mean, I can answer you in terms of the youth, not my son.
Yeah.
Because I definitely failed with him because he just think, Mama, go to sleep. The environment as well. Just leave the environment alone. He really doesn't believe anything that I say or believe in.
You can't blame him because he heard about it so much.
I think, it's very... He believed on it, but he's from this very minority that don't believe in climate change as well. So he belongs there. Maybe he will mature.
And change his
Inshallah.
ideas, yes.
I would say the youth have to know the real value proposition of the sustainability.
Yes.
That we want to leave Earth with more resources for them, more reserved in a better way resources for them. When they realize the economic value of sustainability, that's when you get the youth on board.
But what if they say, you guys ruined it for us? Why shouldn't I just keep on going?
We may have, but we hold our hands and we say we're wrong. Let's correct it.
Yes. But how do we get them to take action? Something they've heard about all the time. And, you've been talking about sustainability 15 years.
Data-driven policy is the best way.
I understand.
Evidence-based.
Okay, you guys have been talking about evidence-based policy for a really long time. And still, we had the hottest summer last year. You've been talking about evidence-based policies for 20, 30 years.
But you can't even argue with the climate change when you see so many regions.
They're not rejecting it, but they're just saying, what do you want us to do about it? You guys tried doing so much about it.
What you want to do about it, it's so much. First, economically, start recycling. Start doing proper incentives, financial incentives for the youth. Like in Germany, they go and sell things when they return them. The bottles are returned and for money.
Yes.
And there's the machines by Cirque are great. They're everywhere. You put them and you get vouchers back in their favorite shops.
Yes.
And they can buy e-gaming. And, you've got to speak their language, actually.
There you go. We have to speak their language. So you were talking about the youth, and one of your one of the examples that you brought up, Dr. Reem, was like, for instance, Cirque, which is a PIF-owned company involved in recycling.
I wish they were existing when I did the campaign 15 years ago. It was a dream for me and them.
Well, they're not going anywhere, so I'm sure you'll be able to work with them soon.
With them anyway.
They have these machines where people can deposit, things that are destined for the landfill and get credits to use them even on digital spaces like gaming.
Yeah, absolutely. So you need real incentive. I mean, not only the youth. To mobilize the community, you need real incentives.
What are those incentives?
The incentive could be financial, could be a reward, could be a champion for sustainability that has, education in return, scholarship.
But the naysayer says, I'm doing this for you anyway. Why do I need to reward you for doing something for yourself?
Sorry, Ed.
A naysayer, someone who says no, this is a bad idea, would say, why should I have to reward you to help you yourself? Like, I'm doing this to help you. Why should I have to?
All the great economists said that the human nature has to be rewarded for everything. So that's why you have to, to make it success, it has to be, unfortunately, reward based. I think, with the youth, I'm guilty a little bit. I should invest more into what rewards and what motivate our youth.
So we have to understand their market.
Yes, their market.
Yes.
And I mean, to be honest, if you want something to be successful in Saudi with all the proportion of the youth, we have to talk their language. So, and as I said, we need a role model. All these fashionistas and bloggers and so on to be the role model, the champion of sustainability.
Yes, so all those SMIs, social media influencers. We need to get them to do more sustainability.
Yes.
Tell me, so this is actually one of the prerogatives under the Quality of Life program, under SGI, under MGI, and all of these initiatives, of course, are under Saudi Vision 2030, which you've played a very large role in. Tell us about your role. And tell us, what more do you think you would like to contribute to that grand vision?
Yeah. So, in my opinion, and I always say that, the vision is not a branding. It's a reality. It's a system change that we live it and you witness it, Otherwise, you won't be here, actually, running this broadcast. So, the vision, as I said, is a system change, a game changer, a reality that we're living. We're happy that we're part of it. My role is empowering and prepare and pay back. I've talked in the beginning about paying back from what the government spent on my education. So I've got to rebuild the human capital
with interest.
With interest, with sustainability value, to pay back to the land I love.
Yes.
And I enjoy the most, although my husband enjoys it more, you know that. He's a big lover.
Yeah, who's Irish, by the way, yes.
And he loves Saudi more.
Yes.
I'm always accused that he loves Saudi more than me.
You can't blame him.
But you know why he does? Because the vision is not a brand. It's actually a reality that he lived it and he saw it changing time by time and lived it. So anyways, going back to my role, I think I help as many women as possible to be part of this, to play their role, build human capital.
So that has been your role, is to enable women to take part in the vision.
Yes, absolutely. I mean,
and you did that through?
I do that in many ways. One, I'm in Swap Nusuf, which is preparing women to be on the board, Saudi women on the board. I am an investor and founder in Playbook, which is a women-only platform globally, but obviously with focus on Saudi. I am a coach and a mentor. And hopefully with the Green Hub, we're going to focus more on women's sustainability, or women's role in sustainability.
Very nice. And so what more are you looking to contribute to the vision?
The legacy. I want the legacy. I want to be able, when I'm dead, my son says, my mom...
After a very long life,
inshallah.
Yes.
No, I was a bridge builder, but to the correct avenue. I empowered women. I contributed to sustainability, and I left Saudi greener and nicer for the youth. and for the young
Well,
generation.
look, the flag is green. Okay, really.
Yes.
The flag is green. The emblem is a plant.
أيوة صحيح.
It's a plant.
صحيح.
So
that's a brand already there.
I'm telling you,
Sustainability.
this is going to be the greenest state
Inshallah.
in the world.
Inshallah.
You know, and that's one of the reasons
See,
why.
sustainable Saudi.
Even, I mean, when we're talking about the NGO space, that's one of the reasons why, which I completely agree and I see and I can relate to completely because, as you know, I co-founded the Botanical Society, Saudi Botanical Society. And I think it was with the same type of passion, right? Like I see
I admire
how this country is. Thank you so
much you guys did and how much awareness that you threw at me and how much motivation every time I took my project and I looked at you and you're going ahead. You're going ahead. And,
with your support.
This is the role model we need. Community-led initiatives that leads the way. It's a perfect example.
Dr. We need, you know, I think the sustainability sector, we just really need a native example that affects the wider international community.
And alhamdulillah, we have so many.
Yes,
so many.
But we need to know more about them.
And yes, all what it is that we need to work together to bring the light to everyone who's working in sustainability.
Yes.
Again, that's the role of Green Hub, and I refuse to be affiliated with anyone for that because I want everyone who's playing a role in Saudi sustainability, non-commercial driven, to be to have the spotlight, to see the efforts. It doesn't matter if the company has a commercial, an ROI, of course, but as long as they are targeting sustainability in their business, for me, everybody has to know. My dream is, inshallah, طبعا احنا we're still discussing the name of Green Hub in space because we're not sure how to even, we're getting your advice on the proper way to register it. So Green Hub is open to ideas, to partnership. It's a community-led initiative, and it will focus on eventually when we have the third and last stage, our green community built and the hub is there. Anybody who will come from outside Saudi or from Saudi who decided to go green or to be more sustainable, they can walk in and they can learn about the practice in daily life, how to build their house greenly, how to have less carbon footprint in the world, how to have solar energy in their house.
An amazing city in Saudi Arabia that already has a lot of these practices.
It's led by my colleague Abdurrahman Ibrahim. It's in Medina al-Munawwar.
Well, I would say it's in the region of Medina. Al-Ula.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I'm telling you, we have farm-to-table initiatives.
I didn't know, but Medina got an award for the from being achieving sustainable development goal.
And they deserve it 100%. But what I'm saying is, there's an amazing international example.
I would love to know. I know there's so much done.
There's so much that's been done, and some of it is so sophisticated. I don't understand it, to be honest. But what they've done. For instance, they recently worked with the palms. So they take the palm plant and they use the leftovers to make fertilizer for other crops. They have farm-to-table initiatives. They've done workshops to empower sustainable agriculture.
That I know because my partner in Startup House, they run Vibe Al-Ula.
Yes.
So it's actually for the community of Al-Ula to empower and focus on women. There is gender empowerment in it. So that definitely achieved the ESG.
Dark skies. The darkest sky in the GCC, in the Middle East.
And I did see the
So even light pollution, they're taking care of right now in Al-Ula.
Yeah, it's a very unique place. And I went, of course, as a child with my father when he was building the highway to Medina. I remember vaguely I remember that we filled the truck with oranges to take back.
Yes.
That is stuck in my memory.
Citrus is very famous in Al-Ula.
Stuck in my memory, and how I think the maybe Al-Hijra or one of the the architect there. I have a picture. I'm very short compared to the big door.
Yes.
That I don't know, remember where. And then I visited as an adult and I couldn't see, like everybody's saying Al Ula, and it's so amazing and unique. The beauty of Al Ula is enough to sit in Al Ula and think of sustainability.
Exactly.
It's a retreat just to be in Al Ula.
You know, I love that a lot of the central themes in Al Ula are actually based on sustainability. You want to talk about irrigation, even from ancient times, by the way, 200,000 years of human history in Al Ula. Irrigation was sustainable, is today sustainable. The strategies for producing the crops, the type of tourism that we have in Al Ula, based on sustainability, right?
Inshallah, we should have a session in Al Ula
Inshallah.
to show their sustainability.
Yes.
To focus, Green Hub will go and visit to show the sustainability efforts, inshallah.
Well, we can't wait to have you in Al Ula.
Thank you so
Dr.
much
Reem.
for
Thank you so
hosting
much.
me.
No, it's my honor and my pleasure to have somebody so accomplished, so well known in the sustainability sector to be joining us here at the podcast. And ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us for this episode of Artifact. I'm your host, Joshua Valenstein, and this was our guest, Dr. Reem Al Turki.
Al Ula FM.
The sound of Arabia.